following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.
This isn't just a game. This is iRacing. Last season, when this series, the GLSR Mr. Radiator Premier Series, came to Bristol Motor Speedway, we almost had a first-time winner. However, a spin and win, bump and run, whatever you want to call it, became the story that night. Tonight, will that happen again? Will we see a first-time winner? Will we see one of our familiar winners go to victory lane? Tonight, it is Bristol, and tonight, there's a slight change in Bristol. We'll talk about that here in just a moment as we welcome you into race number 6 of this GLSR Mr. Radiator Premier Series from the last great Coliseum, Bristol, Tennessee, virtually here on iRacing. Now, of course, this was a scheduled race tonight to run at Bristol, and of course, it's a little bit of irony involved here that this past week, Hurricane Helene went through the state of Florida, up through Georgia, into South Carolina, North Carolina, and up into the Blue Ridge Mountains or Appalachian Mountains area of North Carolina and Tennessee. Bristol, of course, sits up at the Virginia state line, and to the south of that area, Asheville, North Carolina, and that whole region obviously was literally ripped apart by Hurricane Helene. And tonight, because of that, this race is named different than what was originally scheduled. Tonight being the Hurricane Helene Relief 150. And tonight you will see down in the stream, in the race information description area of the stream, I will also pin it up here in the top part of live chat. You will have a chance to donate money throughout the broadcast to the American Red Cross to help with Hurricane Helene efforts and helping people who are still stranded. There's areas of Chimney Rock that people are still stranded, even though the town has been completely wiped off the map, unfortunately. And there's still people missing. They're still counting bodies that have been found, perished due to Hurricane Helene. It's a sad situation, and it is your chance to help by donating to the American Red Cross. So make sure you do that today, tonight during this broadcast. And obviously, it is something we're going to continue to focus on. We started last night, and throughout the broadcast here tonight, we're going to be live tomorrow night with a league race. And then we're also going to have a couple of events coming up this weekend. We're going to do some just hosted racing, and we are going to just do our best to try to help the groups out and raise some money there for the American Red Cross. So if you get a chance, do so throughout. If you have any questions, you can, of course, reach out to me or whatever, and we will get that get the questions answered or whatever. Of course, it's a lot going on. It's a very unfortunate event. You're talking to a guy who grew up in Florida, who grew up in, gosh, I don't even have an actual number. I say 4. But basically, I've been through numerous hurricanes from the time I was born to now. And I know what it's like to be affected. But what I saw up in the mountainous areas of Tennessee and Georgia this past week, or in North Carolina this past week. That was something I would never thought I would ever see in that situation. So this is our chance to help out and return the favor to those that would probably do the same for us if we were affected. So let's do our best here to help the American Red Cross and raise money today. All right, let's get ready for the race. Qualifying is beginning. It is Spicy Schemes Hot Laps here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. The pole done last season by Jason Dalton, a 15 flat basically on this half-mile oval. Let's see if he can get out of here and do it again. Right now, a 15:05 is the pole lap. As we're trying to get on a car here and cameras are not cooperating. There we go. As we look at the 60 car, Brandon Marr, who just broke the track record, 14:95, as he crosses the start-finish line first. As of right now, Diego Sainz is third as he's going to get across the start-finish line in that 44 car. Here he comes. Unfortunately, the heartbreak of him losing his Houston Astros to the baseball playoffs today. He runs the same exact lap as Brandon Marr and qualifies second as of right now. Here's Caleb Fosnot out on track. Caleb on his second lap right now. Richard Midkiff seventh. Devin Ramsey eighth. As qualifying here is going to run really quickly because of how quick the racetrack is here. Of course, being this half-mile oval. As Fosnot's lap is complete. Tyler Brewer still yet to go on track. We got a few heavy hitters here yet to get on track. And forgive me as I'm talking to you guys. I'm trying to get this link to post correctly, and it's not cooperating with me. So just stand by. And we'll get it. There we go. There's the link for the American Red Cross, and it is pinned up there at the top as Tyler Brewer crosses the line. Running his lap is Alex Bryson's going to bring the Kevin Harvick throwback on the track. We'll show you that paint scheme here in just a second. Brewer coming across for his second lap. I guess it'd help you if I showed you the lap times. As Brewer goes to ninth with a 15:12. Good lap for him. Alex Bryson, here he is in a 15:25 on his first lap. Matthew Wheeler also on track. In the 10 car, you still got Telder, Miles, the Dean Machine, Tyler Pluff. As Bryson goes to P9 in qualifying here. As now Miles is going to get out there on track, and so is Matthew Wheeler here in the 10 car. A big shout out to Sammy Barnes, who, of course, with Spicy Schemes, does a lot of work to get these awesome paint schemes on some of these cars, as you see. And I appreciate the hard work he does to make that happen. As Wheeler brings it down into turn 3 and 4. And across the start-finish line, and he will cross the line and move to the 13th position on his second lap. Here's Stephen Miles, who goes for a spin on lap 1 and backs it into the wall. Miles, who's a 2-time winner this season, winner at Charlotte just a couple weeks ago. And he's going to have to make some adjustments here real quickly. He's got about a minute, which you can get about 3 or 4 laps in a minute here. With the 15-second lap time, here's Tyler Pluff, entered way too high into 3 and 4. That's not going to help him. But brings her off turn 4 in the Evolve Golf. Number 39 will not have that lap count, unfortunately. Telder on track now. As Pluff gets way loose and backs out of it. And he's going to qualify in the back. I see Telder's reset. And Stephen Miles ended up qualifying third. He went back out on his next lap and qualified third. Here's Telder back on track. And Telder not liking the feel of something here, and he's going to lose out as we're down to 13 seconds. So looks like Brandon Marr is going to be the pole sitter here tonight in that 60 car. Congratulations to him, and appreciate Spicy Schemes for what they do as we go trackside for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the stars gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, getting ready to grid here for the race here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Cars on pit road as they will roll off. As we take a look at the starting lineup here for this Hurricane Helene Relief 150, Brandon Marr, the Michigan driver, 1494 new track record, wins the pole here in that stage 60 car. And Diego Sainz, arguably the hottest driver on the circuit right now, will qualify P2. Stephen Miles, Brian Sutphin with a good qualifying effort. Short track ace there starting 4th. Lucas Strayer, Brett Murphy, new driver there, starting 6th. Brandon Alphin, Richard Midkiff, starting 7th and 8th. Inside row number 5, Sam Fontaine, the winner last time we were here at Bristol. And Alex Bryson, Tyler Brewer, Devin Ramsey, who's already warned one driver that, hey, I'm going to run the bottom line, don't run me over. We'll let you guess who that driver is. Row number 7, Jason Clark and Matthew Wheeler, Dylan Rosenberg and Josh Gagnon there at row 8. Row 9, Luke Simonson, Jason Dalton with a not so good qualifying run, but Dalton has got his own special situation going on right now. We'll talk about that during the race. Joey Ladiseur, Dylan Glass, Sean Peachin and Caleb Fosnot, the family there in row 11. Row 12, Tyler Pluff and Matt Telder, Sparling and Dean in row 13. And row 14, Robert Lucan's going to start tail end Charlie on the field. 175 laps is going to be the race here tonight. It's actually 150 kilometers in the race, 68 degrees, 75% humidity. Of course, the series presented by Mr. Radiator here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. It is a track that's going to bring a lot of excitement. As I mentioned last season here, it was a bump and run, spin and win, whatever you want to call it, that took the winner to victory lane. Will it be the same here tonight as Brendan Marr and Diego Sainz bring him to the green? Race number 6 of GLSR goes green. And of course, our camera is presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. It's through 3 and 4. A very loose setup these guys are driving tonight as Marr goes and kind of clips the wall already, gets that out of the way as he leads lap 1. Already seeing some side-by-side racing. Going to be from bottom to the top here eventually, especially as this track wears in a little bit, getting some rubber down. You'll see that top groove really come into play here. Top 5 of pretty much single file out. Brandon Alphin with the first side-by-side battle with Richard Midkiff for the 6th position. Lap times around here going to continue about 15 to 16 seconds as tire fall off happens. Wheeler back here, 14th position for him as he rides to the outside of Josh Gagnon, who's riding behind Jason Clark. I was distracted because I've noticed he's already got some right rear damage on that car. So he's already hit Clark. Oh, and now Clark's in the wall with the 10. Gagnon's involved, and this is going to be big. Telder with some damage, the 10, the 86, the 49 involved. And already caution as Bristol gets started. And I'm pretty sure the microphones are active right now as we look at what happened here to bring out the caution. This is going to happen up ahead with the 10. As you see the pack here, there's Ramsey in front. As the 20 and the 10 come together. Gagnon nowhere to go. Teller gets squeezed in there to 16 to 49 as mentioned. Add Sean Peachin to the list of damaged cars. There's at least 6 or 7 involved, including the 26 of Brian Sutphin, who, by the way, started in the back in this race this evening. Let's get this one from Far Chase, the old crash cam as I like to call it, and this was definitely a crash cam here. Dalton gets a little bit of damage also. Nice job by Ladisor to get through there. There's Rosenberg with some damage. Pluff gets through. Let's go on board with Chowder, who had that unfortunate qualifying effort. There's the contact, and Telder just nowhere to go. Does a good job of not running over really any cars. I think the engine's going to be okay. Just a lot of damage to the right side from having to wall himself to slow up. I mean, for a situation where it looks like he was going to run somebody over, he might not be in a bad spot here. Unfortunate for Josh Gagnon, who took a little lick here. Slight net code involved there, it looks like, too. I'm sure there's some kind of theme to the silver state relief that's on the hood of that car. He's going to need some other kind of relief tonight. As we go back green here on lap number 11. As Marr takes off and gets the jump on Diego Sainz, Miles going to move up to second just like that. As everybody side by side here, you see the 64 falling back here. Murphy as Fontaine looks to his inside. Alpin has gone by. Lucas Strayer looking to maybe clear in the 41. He's going to take the position away. Bryson right there on his inside also. As for second, you see Sainz going past Miles. Diego just continuing to run up front. The only driver with top fives in all 5 races this season. He's looking to go 6 for 6. As here comes the teammate to Miles to the inside of Brandon Alphin. Should mention Clark is back on track. He is a lap down, so is Fosnot. The rest of the cars, Josh Gagnon, Luke Simonson, Dylan Glass off track after that caution. Mars pulled away to about a half second right now over Sainz. You see Telder starting to try to work his way back up through the field after some damage there. Might have gotten it fixed. Not sure how bad it was. A lot of these guys either were involved in that or got through there unscathed. As you see Tyler Pluff in that 39 car. Joey Ladisor the inside there. Of course, Joey the sponsor of the series with Mr. Radiator on his car. Christopher Dean with that Dale's Pools and Spa car. Appreciate the viewers coming in and hanging out here this evening. If you're new to the chat, hit that subscribe button. And if you're not new, we appreciate you coming back. And Going to throw this reminder up a bunch here this week, but it was just announced a little bit ago. Coming up Friday and Saturday night, if you're not doing anything, or even if you are doing something, you can come join us in the stream. But the captain's going to be hosting some races Friday and Saturday night. Free for those to race, but obviously going to be streaming to potentially get some more donations to help out the American Red Cross. So if you want to be a part of these events, they're going to be just hosted sessions. What I'm going to race, where I'm going to race, who knows? Whatever I decide. And it's going to be a lot of fun coming up Friday and Saturday night. Make sure you come join us for that. And it'll be live streamed and everything. So pass the word on to your friends and family. Even if you can't even be a part of it, share it with your friends so they can come race. It'll be open to everybody. And it should be a lot of fun as we try to raise some money for the hurricane victims. Up front, 0.4 of a second, still separating. Then it's 1.4 from Diego Sainz back to Brandon Alfin, who's in the third position. Fontaine about 0.3 back. Right here is where the fighting is. As Ladisor gets a little loose. Here's Jason Dalton in his 2-car. Dalton, this guy here, I don't know the whole story behind it, but from what I understand, this man is racing on a generator right now. He has no power apparently at his house from the storms, and is got the generator hooked to the computer as Brewer gets a little D-Dido there. And Dalton is out here racing. That's some support right there. So good to see him out on the track here, and all the best to him and his family, and hopefully they'll get their power back on here in the very near future. It'd be kind of ironic if it came on in the middle of this race. So there's Brandon up at the front. That stage 60 car. That car has had pretty terrible luck throughout the season. It's had good runs at times, but then not the best finishes. And Brendan looking to change that here this evening. Good driver there, that 60 car. And of course, Sainz is just chasing him down here as that bottom line continues to be the way to roll right now. As we look up here at the 10th position, Jason Dalton has gone past teammate Richard Midkiff, bringing Brewer with him. Going to bring Tyler Pluff with him as these guys go by for position. There you see Dean and Ramsey. Ladisor, Telder, Dylan Rosenberg. He's still in the lead lap with damage on that 91 car. So far, 30 laps in and just the one caution here so far. Sean Pichu with a lot of damage on that 69 car. That car is off the pace and going to go a lap down already. You see Brian Sutphin, I made the comment, he had a qualifying effort. He supposed to have started up in 4th, but I believe started in the back. Gets involved in that wreck, and now he is trying to survive, staying on the lead lap here as he tries to get around Caleb Fosnot, who is the... Make sure I see this right. He's 2 laps down, actually, in the 86 car right now. Sutphin going to let him by as we get into this lap traffic. Leader usually has the harder time making the passes, and then in second place it usually is the easy one through. A lot of these guys just kind of yielding and letting the leader going through, knowing their car is just not up to par right now. Either a lot of damage to fix, or unfortunately running with what they got. And a lot of them might be sitting there thinking to themselves, hey, at least we got next week, should be a lot of fun. Well, next week, it's a throwback week per se. I know we've already done the theme, but throwback as in we're back in the truck series for 1 week only at Eldora. A dirt race in the trucks next Wednesday night, and that is going to be a fantastic race to check out. As Mars 6/10 now up on Diego Sainz, he's starting to pull away. Brandon Alfin still hanging there in the 3rd position. There's the Bucky's number 21. And Fontaine right there behind him. As Mars already lapped up to the 16th position. correction, 18th position. Blaine Sparling, the last one on the lead lap, and there he is getting lapped by the 60 cars. The 33, Robert Lucan's going by, or I should say getting lapped just a minute ago. So a lot of promoting and stuff going on. Of course, we talked about the racing we're going to do Friday and Saturday night, the money we're raising for the hurricane victims. One other thing we want to talk about a little bit is the Captain eSports Network shop that you can go buy some merchandise on. There's a couple of new shirts out there, one about ARCA braking and a couple about blinker fluid that you want to go check out. Those little teases. They've been released here in the last couple of weeks. Those t-shirts are on the Captain eSports Network shop, which of course you can click the logo or the link down below in the race description, and you can go enjoy that website there that has all types of different items and more. But the ARCA braking shirt is pretty interesting, and the blinker fluid, how Alt F4 fixes all racing issues. There's Brett Murphy under attack is Tyler Plouffe and now Devin Ramsey trying to get around him. As this battle here for the 11th position. Has already 44 laps in the books. As the Tylers go at it now. Plouffe having a great run here so far, up 14 positions as he takes that 9th spot away in a battle for second. As Diego having some issues in lap traffic. Here comes Alfin. I go back a few seasons ago, season 5, I believe it was, of the trucks, where Alfin was leading this race. And unfortunately, a bunch of teammate RG Bargy came together at the end of the race, and he was not able to go to victory lane that night. You wonder if he's going to maybe bring that same success, but he's going to have to catch Brendan in the 60 car if he's going to do so. But Sainz having issues with Sparling right now, who's fighting. Kind of surprising to see Blaine doing this. So finally they get by. And Alfin going to jump back up here to the top as he tries to make moves. See, at the back of this pack is Sam Fontaine there in that 77, the blue and white car. That is him in the 4th position. Alex Bryson about 2.5 seconds back from these guys here, is already at the 50 lap mark in this race. Will have to make one pit stop in this race at one point. I mean, you get a couple more cautions, which I'm thinking by now you'd have to get tires, but you could almost make it on fuel without a stop if you had a couple early cautions, but just the one so far in this race. All right, back here as Telder's gone by for 12th. Murphy is free falling through the field. Dylan Rosenberg, Joey Ladesseur. And speaking of blinker fluid, we need to get Brett Murphy one of those Vault F4 shirts. Not that we want him to do that here. It's a joke, obviously, but the blinker fluid on the logo. As they come up on the lap car of Sean Peachin. Looks like Jason Clark has taken his 20 car behind the wall. Jump up here to the 10th position. It's the man on the move here, Tyler Plouffe, in his 39, putting the pressure on Dalton. This is all about 10 seconds back from Brendan Marr, who is lapping cars really quickly right now. Come back here to where Brendan would be. That is him right behind Joey Ladesseur. 14 cars on the lead lap. Mars is sitting there riding on the bottom here. 15:93 last time by. Not the fastest lap that time by, but obviously running pretty sporty laps out here. Check back here is Alfin. Wonder if he's burned his stuff up a little bit. Not able to catch Diego anymore. And now Fontaine has gone through the lap traffic, and you wonder, can the 77 get to him? Looking to the low side here. This is where it gets really tough because you want to be able to just drive the car to the bottom here, and that's what Fontaine's going to do. Ooh, back in, getting a little free there, in the corner. He should be able to clear him. Maybe not. You can just see where Fontaine's car just gets on that rear and just drives through the corner. There goes Fontaine, going to clear for the third position. A great pass there by the 77. We give a shout out to 4D Racewear for your chance to get some gloves and some shoes that can help you out, of course, in your iRacing experience. If you're looking to protect those socks that you're either ripping on those pedals or you're tearing your feet up or whatever, and you want to get something solid, go check out the shoes at 4D Racewear because they will take care of you. They're comfortable, they're light, and you will enjoy in the gloves, not to mention a really cool Teller. I know in the race is running both. I think Ramsey's got some. I know I've got some. Luke Daniels, who's not here, has got some. We've all got shoes and gloves and stuff that you can enjoy from 4D Racewear. Make sure you check them out at 4dracewear.com. So Alfin's starting to fall back here just a little bit as Brendan Maher's lead has enhanced a lot. 3.2 seconds in the last few minutes as Diego Sainz's car starting to fall off, and here comes Fontaine now. As that 77 looking real sporty here. We're almost to halfway already in this race, and we've only been green for 19 minutes. I always shared this stat back. I had a league that I used to have back in the day, and we had the 175 lap truck race here once, and went caution free. We finished it in 45 minutes. So Fontaine looking to get around Diego here for position. Diego's car just looks tight. Looks like he doesn't want to turn. Back here, teammates going for fourth is Bryson. And past Brandon Alfin, that laser racing battle for the fourth position. So move AB up one, passing BA. That's Diego fighting with Sam now. Guys doing a good job for, I was hearing a lot of people talking about the setup being a push loose type of feel, and it could be treacherous, but other than the one wreck at lap 5, it's been clean and green here for 70 straight laps. And been some pretty competitive racing. Here's Ladisor and Rosenberg for 13th. Let's go back here because Fontaine's trying. Crossing back over here. Look to the low side. This is 77 trying to get him. Can he? Far enough ahead to clear. This is not going to be an easy pass at all. I mean, look how Fontaine's just able to get that car to slide through the corner. And he makes the pass for a second. You can just see the rear end of the car just going to yaw as Dylan Rosenberg has gone around, and a caution is out for the second time. And lap 78. Which is just shy, by the way, of the halfway point. Which, oh, by the way, is a bonus point there. We're leading at that point. They have 175. That would be, let's see, 180 would be 90. What, 85 and a half? Something like that. Off the old calculators. We see what happened to Rosenberg in the 91. He was battling with Fontaine, or with Ladouceur here. Oh, he gave him the bumper. Oh, and Brendan, how did he get through there? Right in front of the leaders. Come back and show that again, but here's the leaders on pit road now. As you see, it is the one-lane pit road, so you enter all the way over here on the right side of the screen. All the way through the backstretch pits, and 3 and 4, all the way back over here to the front stretch. Is where you will see these cars come in and take 4 tires and fuel likely. As Robert Lukens is on pit road now, but it looks like Marr's going to win the race off pit road, followed by Sainz, Fontaine, Bryson, and Miles going to be your top 5. After the second caution here for Dylan Rosenberg, who goes around after contact with Joey Ladouceur. Let's watch this again. Let's go to the old crash cam, but watch how close these leaders came from being involved in this. Right there's the contact. Dylan tries to lock it down. Joey checks, and there's the leader right there. But the good news is everybody lives to find another race, another lap, and we'll go green here in about a second or so. All right, maybe a little bit longer in a second. Come to the green flag here at lap number 83. And this Hurricane Helene Relief 175 as there goes the 60. He's led all the laps here so far under green, I believe. As we are 3 laps officially from halfway. Sainz got anything for the 60 here. He's looking. He took a peek there to the top side. And here he comes to the inside, looking low. Brendan gives in that bottom lane. And Next time by will be the halfway point. Diego's trying to get him across his back. Almost made the crossover move there. As Brendan will get the halfway bonus point. Congratulations to him. Oh, and he gets loose there in two, and that's going to give the room to Signs, but he protects the bottom, and caution is out. Caution out is Rosenberg, again with Blaine Sparling this time. Cautions breed cautions. Lap 90, or 89 actually, officially for the third caution. Oh, hard contact. Peachin gets a piece of that. Dylan, unfortunately, his rear end is taking a little bit of a beating tonight. Third wreck he's been involved in. You see the car getting tight right there. Had to roll out of it, and Blaine had to run, but fortunately, there's not enough room there, it looks like. As we do have some takers to pit road. Dean Sparling going to get damage fixed. So is Rosenberg. Looks like Telder also coming to pit road here. Under this third yellow flag, want to send a shout out to my buddy Mark at MC Racing here in Fort Wayne. If you're going to be coming through the area from out of state, as the Winchester 400's coming up here, and you're going to maybe drive through the Fort Wayne area, or maybe would like to, this is your chance. Come check out MC Racing and see what simulators he has, where you can do some racing on iRacing and so many other simulators and more there in downtown. Big thank you to Mark for supporting the Captain eSports Network. And I want to do everything we can do to send some people there. And whenever you come into town, or might be here or live here or whatever, go check them out. So if you look over in the pinned messages here in the chat tonight for the Hurricane Helene relief, you'll notice a link for the American Red Cross. We are collecting donations, and it's going straight to the American Red Cross. The link there goes straight to their page, and you're helping them out by showing your support for those victims. I mean, seeing what Greg Biffle and other drivers and teams have done to trying to help out those families and everybody involved has been nothing short of amazing. And I know, as somebody who just streams from his house and really can't do much, I think this is the least I can do is try to help with the donations and stuff. So we appreciate all those who have helped out. And again, I've been through plenty of hurricanes myself. I know what it's like not to have power. Unfortunately, I don't know what it's like to have roads washed away and stuff like that. That's a whole new spot that I've never seen before. But to have your home wiped out, or area, with no power or anything in it, it's not a fun situation. So show your support, help them out. You never know when you might need that help in return. Just remember that. All right, coming to the green, just past halfway, lap 92. I think this is a good time we turn it up. It up. Caution out. I saw this kind of shaping up towards the back, as it looked like Blaine Sparling might be involved in this. As fourth caution now. And this one looks like Brian Sutphin and the Dean Machine involved in. Roll the beautiful beam footage and see what happens here. I saw Lukens getting the wall, a little check up there, and Wheeler gets into the 48 and sends him packing. And then Sutphin gets up into Sparling. I did not see what caused the 33 to check up here, so let's see what happens to Robert Lukens. Oh, he gets loose and hits the wall. Dean checks up, and Wheeler unfortunately gets into him. And caution waves again. Was gonna get a word with Brendan, but I notice he is not in chat, so unfortunately won't be able to get a word with the leader here. Diego Sainz is just kind of chilling. He's in focused mode right there in the second position. Let's actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's bring up Jason Dalton. Let's bring up the driver that runs right now. I've got the 2-car and the 11th position. Jason, you got a copy there, bud?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, obviously want to check on you because I know you're right there close to what has happened here in the last week that I'm sure has been a little bit of a life-altering event with Hurricane Helene there. Talk about your situation, your status, how's everybody, and how you guys have fared there in the Virginia area, Tennessee area.
Yeah, we're hanging in there. I'm in Southwest Virginia, and we were on the edge of the main storm, so we got a bunch of trees down, a bunch of power out. I currently still have power out. I just got my old generator hooked up to the internet and the thing, and I'm sitting in the dark racing the night off the generator. But it's, I mean, a lot of stuff tore up. Like I said, people out of power, but real blessed, you know, considering everything that's going on in Tennessee and Western North Carolina there. They've had it tough.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, I know it's got to be a little different racing in the dark here, so we'll let you get ready to go green. And best of luck, man. It's good to see you out there. Good to see you guys are safe, more importantly, and all the best.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Jason Dalton, man, does great things for us, and we have a chance to potentially help him out and stuff. We'll get into his channel, KGD2 Racing, as we'll try it again as we go to turn it up a second time here. Round 2, fight. Never mind. All right, we just realized we're just going to take the L here, unfortunately. Caution back out. And, uh-oh, Tyler Pluff involved in this one. Sometimes it's your night, sometimes it's not your night. It's a lot like the race cars. Off with a little bit of damage. Oh, that right front's torn up. Let's see what happened to him. Inside of Devin Ramsey. Oh, Dalton got turned back behind him. Oh, and then Pluff gets turned with Ramsey. There's 2 wrecks here. Oh no. Did I just jinx Dalton? I blame the darkness. I think Dalton actually saved it. 3 wide back here. Oh, Teller gets into the back of him. And then looks like Netcode with the 9 and 39. Which kind of was a blessing for Dalton because he was right behind those guys. That could have been them being involved in that wreck in the end. Another view of this, but yeah, I think we definitely had some netcode here with Pluff and Ramsey. Would they have hit? Maybe. But Tyler Pluff with some heavy damage on that 39. As you see him going a lap down right now as we speak. Oh, coming up again, if you get the opportunity to, we'd love for you to pass this along to others. I'm going to be posting it in the forums and Facebooks and stuff here as soon as we're done with this race. I know it's a last-minute thing, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to try to help out with the Hurricane Helene relief. And the captain's going to host some hosted races Friday night and Saturday night. And see what we can do to help out the families out there in Tennessee and North Carolina and everyone involved with the American Red Cross. So hopefully if you get the opportunity to, you can come join us. If not, stream and share the streams or whatever we can do. The more people we can get aware to this, we can potentially help out a family and stuff, or multiple families involved with this, and so on and so forth. So plan to come join us Friday night 8 o'clock Eastern, Saturday night 7 o'clock Eastern. Who knows? I know Friday night we won't be up that late. Put it like that. Somebody's got to work in the morning. But then Saturday night we'll probably be up a little bit doing some hosted racing. What we're going to do, where, I don't know. Whatever I decide. Should be fun no matter what. All right, Brendan Mars dominated so far. And he's got 70 laps before he gets potentially his first win. But he's got a very hungry Diego Sainz on his outside as we go back racing. With 70 laps to go. After 3 pretty quick cautions there. Top 4, top 5. 4 single files. You see Strayer and Bryson side by side there as the 24 Stephen Miles behind them. That 64 car having a great run. Brett Murphy. As Brian Sutphin checking in there. Brian, good to see you obviously doing okay, man. Obviously, I know you're in that same relative area as Dalton and those guys there, so glad to see you're okay. Glad to see the family's okay. All the best there in your situation also there, bud. Speaking of Dalton, there he is back there in that number 2 car. Battling with Murphy right now for the 9th position. He's got Telder there in front of him. Stephen Miles in front of them as the leaders start to trade off fastest laps of the race. Sainz ran the fastest lap a minute ago, then Brendan Marr did. Now Brandon Alphin has just ran the fastest lap of the race. I think we're getting down to the old nitty-gritty. As teammates right here, 8th and 9th. Murphy there in 10th. Oh, totally understandable, brother. Mar leads 0.3 of a second over Diego Sainz and Sam Fontaine, 0.5 back. Brandon Alphin another 0.2 back there in 4th. Just continuing to free fall back through the field here. A little bit of a rough initiation for him tonight. As Telder goes by, and now a lot of Sewer are going to go by. 16 laps in the books. 4 cautions. What has been a fairly clean race. Had a long green run earlier and then a little bit of rash of cautions just now. But might be back to the green flag field that we had just a little bit ago. Let's go back here. Fontaine and Brandon Alf in the battle for third. Good run for Lucas Strayer there. 5th position as he's quietly worked his way up through the field. I say worked his way up. He actually started 5th, so he hasn't really worked his way up or fallen back. He's just maintained. Good to see there. Zanetti, good to see you doing well there, bud. Mr. Jeremy there. So again, next week, it is a special race for this GLSR Mr. Radiator Premier Series, as the Xfinity cars are going to get placed aside for a week, and they're going to bring out the old trucks from back in the day and race some trucks at Eldora for race number 7. It's the first time in league history that they have swapped series for a one race situation at Eldora Speedway. Looks like should be a pretty fun dirt race, and you can join us for that next week at 8:45 Eastern Time. Matter of fact, we'll show you the schedule really quickly of where we are on the schedule. Of course, next week Eldora, then it's Indianapolis. Remember, that's always been in the playoffs, and now it is up here in the middle of the regular season. So Indianapolis, New Hampshire, Dover in Michigan, as we'll have 5 races left after tonight in the regular season before we get to the playoffs here in this Premier Series. Diego has not let Brendan get away. However, in the long run, Brendan seemed to have the better car. Three-tenths of a second over Diego Sainz. Then it's Sam Fontaine about 1.6 seconds back, with Brandon Alphin there behind him. You can see the cars that are running well. If you look really closely, and this is something I don't really catch often, but you can see the rear end shifting in the car. And those guys that are able to drive it off the rear end of this car, those are the ones that are able to get through the turns and get the runs out of the corner and be able to lead this race. And you get the ones that seem like they're still driving off the front end of the car, and those are the ones that you're seeing plow a little bit and are having issues with handling. As 3 cars here, almost a 4th car, as Robert Lucan's trying to join the battle for the 10th position. No pressure to Chris Evans, who's back in the Stage 60 truck next week, but you got to follow this performance up, buddy. Brendan made one other appearance earlier this season, had a fantastic run going before some circumstances happened. He's looking to finish this one off here tonight, though, as he has led every green flag lap here this evening. I'd have to go verify to see if Lucan's led the one lap when he was in front at the pit stops. If not, then it's been Brendan Marr flag to flag so far for 135 laps. Guys continue to trade off 15 6s and 15 7s or lap times right now. Continue to check back on this three-car battle. This is a good one. As Lanosaur now trying to hold off Murphy. Lanosaur, you could maybe argue, going to be one of the favorites next week on the dirt, as he is a actual dirt racer in real life up in Canada. Of course, he did win the race last season they ran on dirt in GLSR. So 34 laps to go as these laps tick off very quickly. So back here to the third position is Fontaine and Brandon Alphin. Go after it. Alphin doing a good job trying to fight with the Season 3 champion. And also the winner from last season here at this track. Or I should say 2 seasons ago. As Mars starts to stretch it out 1.1 seconds over Diego. Now you make me want one of those, which company makes the mud pies? The actual, it's not Little Debbie's, it's somebody else. Fontaine goes for second. As Diego's car starts to fall off and Fontaine moves to P2. As look at Lucas Strayer come into play. A grid spoiler diecast, number 41. Gonna move up to the 4th spot. As Alphin gets into the back of Diego. And Moon Pie, okay. Thank you. I couldn't remember if it was a company behind it. These things are delicious. I haven't had one of those in a while. So Strayer has gone by Alphin and now is going to go by Diego Sainz for 3rd and bringing Bryson with him. Strayer's best run of the season. And man, have I seen this before. Sam Fontaine is starting to reel in Brendan Marr for the lead at Bristol. Need I remind you, for those who don't remember, Matt Telder was leading at this point in the race, dominated, before Fontaine started catching the leader and won the race. I'm sure Telder is watching because he always watches while he drives. He's probably going to cuss me out after the broadcast, and I'm fully aware of it, and it's okay. As here's teammates battling for 4th. And Fontaine, this car has just come to life all of a sudden here. I don't know if the 60 is backing up to him or if the 77 is woken up, but this car just hawked him down for about 1.5 back. With 22 to go. Telder says hi. Telder's having PTSD moments right now as he's watching this race. as Fontaine going to clear him for the lead. So move the 77 to the front. As Strayer's getting closer too now. These guys burned their tires up, and unfortunately, they are starting to fall back now. You see AB in the 34 starting to make the run. And, of course, Miles with the long run he likes to have. He is starting to roll in here. There goes the Lucas to second as Sam Fontaine trying to do the Tennessee sweep, as he just won at Nashville last week and now looking to go to victory lane in Bristol. As here's AB now for third. He's going to get him as Brendan clips the wall there a little bit in turn 4. Now, I don't know what went different from that last run to this one, but that 60 car was like the switch just flipped on it. And you might have to say it was Diego Sainz putting all that pressure on, but speaking of Diego, he has fallen all the way back to the 11th position. He was second literally 10 laps ago. Oh, and there goes the 60 into the wall. From hero to zero. And caution with 11 to go. What happened to Brendan? First, the car fell off and he's just pushing up the track, and unfortunately Miles had a run, and there's the contact, and game over unfortunately for the 60 car. All right, money stops here. Come the leaders. You get to see how tight that car was coming out of the corner. One car to see if this is confirmed. Right now I've got him staying out, but let's see if he does come to pit road or not. He's staying out. Richard Midkiff has stayed out, as we're going to have some two-tire players also here, as Alex Bryson's going to come off pit road second, Miles third, Fontaine fourth, as Midkiff comes to pit road now. So I was scratching my neck there for a second, like, oh. So the teammates from Laser Racing go 1-2 with a two-tire stop here. And if there's any position on the track, at almost at any racetrack in a double file restart you do not want to have, it is the second row on the inside at Bristol. And that is where Fontaine is going to sit. get one more replay of this. That stage 60 car was definitely here tonight. Great run for Brendan. Unfortunately, not the way the team wanted to end this thing, but good job by Alphin and Dalton to check up and miss that. So we're going to go green. 6 laps to go. There are overtimes, as far as I know. Yes, here we go. Good restart for Bryson and Miles, and Strayer with a good restart in second, or third, I should say, on the second row. He is going to clear Miles for second, and Strayer is going to have a chance here as caution back out. As Brett Murphy goes around. And it looks like Midkiff with damage. And that might take us to overtime. We'll have to see here. Oh, whoa, that car just snapped on him. You know what this goes, you know, and I think I know why this happened. I was told by a couple drivers tonight that the setup was pretty low in the rear to where the track bar was dragging the track a little bit. I wonder if it dragged at the wrong moment here, because that car literally snapped. Midkiff nowhere to go. So this might actually help Stephen Miles a little bit in third. And I know I just said literally 5 minutes ago that the worst place you want to be is the second row inside, because that is where you kind of get freight trained back. Well, when you have a teammate leading the race, he's going to tell you when he's going. So maybe this is where now this helps Miles out a little bit before the restart. We should get one to go this time by Lucas Strayer, looking to go to victory lane. Running second there behind AB. And remember this year, the big change, there is no win and get in. But obviously, if one of these two guys go to victory lane tonight, we're looking at our fourth winner in 6 races. And with this, we're actually going to go to overtime, it looks like, because we're getting a 1 to go at 2 to go. And they're not going to do a 1-lap restart here, so it will be officially overtime here. Alex Bryson looking for his 3rd Premier Series win. Lucas Strayer looking for his 2nd. Of course, Fontaine and Miles continue to battle for the all-time wins list on the Premier side. Fontaine with 1 more win in the same amount of starts. This is going to get good. 2 chances, had a green-white checker right here. Bryson takes the high side. As he launches green flag. as Fontaine and Strayer battle for second. Fontaine with a big time run through with 2. Through 3 and 4, tries to cut down 3 wide almost. We get to the white final lap. Fontaine with a run through 1 and 2. Can he get to him? As they drag race. Can Bryson get to Fontaine? He does not. Fontaine gets him at the line. Back-to-back wins. And the fastest lap of the race for Sam Fontaine as he wins at Bristol. I have a weird feeling that Bryson is going to be kicking himself for starting on the outside there. Elder comes back to 4th after being involved in the big wreck earlier in this race. Off in 5th, Miles 6th, Brewer 7th. Diego Sainz comes back to 8th. As he will park it right here near the start-finish line as we take a look at the final results here. Of this Hurricane Helene relief. 175 as Fontaine gets his second straight win here on the season as he wins by 14 100ths of a second over Alex Bryson. Lucas Strayer finishes 3rd. Matt Telder 4th. Brandon Alphin finishing in the 5th position. Stephen Miles 6th. Tyler Brewer, Diego Sainz, Devin Ramsey, Robert Lukens getting the top 10 finish. Good run for Robert. Joey Ladisor finishing 11th. Brett Murphy comes back to 12th. Jason Dalton 13th. Last car on the lead lap. Richard Midkiff 14th. Brendan Marr finishing in the 15th position after leading the most laps here this evening. Blaine Sparling 16th, Matthew Wheeler 17th, Tyler Pluff 18th, Brian Sutphin 19th, and Nadine Machine 20th. Dylan Rosenberg 21st, Sean Peachin 22nd, Fosnot 23rd, Jason Clark 24th, and Josh Gagnon 25th, Dylan Glass 26th, and Luke Simonson 27th. And the final finisher on the grid. A lot to talk about here in this one. This was very interesting. Now, I'm kind of curious. I know Strayer's going to be excited finishing 3rd. But I wonder if there's a small piece of him that's going to be disappointed in the decision that Bryson made to start at the top on this restart. Let's check in with him right now as he's obviously, I know he's going to be excited because he's one of the exciting ones to talk to here. But obviously, Lucas finishing in the 3rd position this evening. Congratulations on a great race and surviving and getting the top 3. But I have to ask, obviously, your thoughts there with AB taking the top side. Did that surprise you? And does it disappoint you a little bit for... does it surprise you they took the top lane, I guess?
So my emotions were all over the place. Like, before the first caution had started everything, if you would have told me hey, you finished 2nd, 3rd, I would have been like, that's a win. I should not be here. There's definitely people that are way better than me. I don't know what I'm doing up here. But then when that that second, I guess the last caution came out, I cleared Miles. Fontaine was stuck behind Miles. All I had was Bryson in front of me. I could see, like, I'm going to win this. Like, I have a huge shot. And then the caution came out. And I was talking to my team, and I said, if Bryson picks the bottom, he might win this. He has a pretty good shot to win this because I'll hold up Fontaine with my bad restart. He'll have Miles playing huge defending. But when he picked the top, I was like, Fontaine wins. Because Fontaine's going to get a good restart. He's going to be beside me. He's obviously the short track like guy. He knows his short track. So, yeah. I got to admit, him sending it in there was so impressive. Like, I was being careful because I didn't want the back end to spin. But when he, like, kind of cut in front of me and just full sent it on the inside of Bryson and it stuck, I was like, oh, wow. Like, that was crazy. But, yeah, just... I mean, I'll take a third. Especially after last week, but... Yeah, I thought... There was a point where I thought I was going to win, so... Dang it.
Yeah, unfortunate situation there, but you know what? Obviously, as we... I'm going to pull up the points. I didn't even show the points from last week where we sat here, and I'm going to bring them up as we look at this. This is as of last week. By the way, and of course you entered this race not so well, as you've had your struggles a little bit here this season in the 41 car, and I'm double checking myself to make sure I do not see your name in the top 20 here, and I do not. So obviously this had to be a great run for you to kind of maybe kick off this second part of the season for you.
Well, yeah, that's unfortunately what I was thinking, because the way the playoffs are now, it's not winning you're in,
right.
So you can't bank on that. But if you do win and you're in the top 20, you do get a spot. So obviously I've missed 2 races this year. Dega, I had that squish moment that took a crash, so there was a good finish. And then Nashville was just, terrible. I've never driven such a bad race. Like, that was all on me. So I was even thinking, I'm like, if I win this and just stay top 20 the rest of the season, I can really turn my season around. But it wasn't meant to be. I'll take my top 3 as usual and continue searching for that win. I just I need at some point. I don't even know the last time I won in this league. It's been a while.
It's been a little bit, but still a great effort, man. Finishing into 3rd position. It's all about getting consistent finishes, and as you get those, the wins will come. But send some shout outs whoever you like to.
Yeah, just my family. They're probably watching. I don't know, so we'll see if any of them text me. Just shout out to them, and then just the normal, just Spoiler Diecast, Brewer Motorsports, Grip Marketing, and last but not least, our wonderful broadcaster who's done a great effort to put on this wonderful broadcast. And there's plenty of donate button somewhere. Y'all should click that and start donating. Like, there are people that need some money, supplies, and everything in the affected areas of the hurricane. So I know all of us are very fortunate that we're still able to race, but people are not. So where's that donate button? Click it. I don't know. It's probably on stream or in the comments somewhere, or you know where it is. Click it.
Down in description. It's up there in the pinned messages. There's a few spots for it, but yes, do what Luke says. The one time you're allowed to listen to what Luke says.
I'll take it as the one time.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Yes, free beer.
There you go.
The way that started is free beer. I gotta go find a beer. I got beer down there, so drink.
Attaboy. Great job tonight.
Thank you.
Lucas Strayer finishing in the 3rd position here tonight. And congratulations to him. We'll get him down to somewhere. We'll send him down to Brewer and let him go hang out with Tyler and them. There's that channel. As the 2nd place finisher tonight, AB, getting that Harvick special up there in 2nd. And unfortunately, falling up just a little bit short. And this is the man that's got to be the question I have to ask Mr. Bryson is, are we second guessing your thought there to start on the outside lane on the restart there? And obviously your thoughts behind all that and a second place finish.
First off, I want to thank Laser Racing for believing in me and putting me in this car every week. Secondly, I'm just sick to myself because I feel like after the initial restart, I probably should have threw it low to kind of hold them back. But, you know, even at the same time, you know, they had fresher tires than I did. I mean, obviously took 2 and they took 4. I don't think I regret taking the outside. I wish I could have that restart back all over again, honestly. But, I mean, I don't know if I'm mad at myself or just, I don't know. I'm just sick to my stomach. But, I mean, yeah, second place, I'll take it.
Was there a conversation at all with you and Miles? Because obviously you both had the inside lane for the restart there to try to get you both out there a little bit to maybe hold up the other cars?
Yeah, I mean, we had that discussion. You know, ultimately, you know, me and Miles decided that we needed to do what was best for, I guess, me in that situation.
Gotcha.
And, you know, I was pretty comfortable, you know, sitting on the outside and getting a good pull in the restart zone. I feel like I timed the second restart there better than I did the first one. You know, unfortunately, you know, it didn't transpire like we wanted it to, but I wouldn't change anything, honestly. I'm not one of those people that would like to go back and change a couple things, even though I just said a couple seconds ago that I would go back and change a couple things. But I don't know, just kind of, I can't even think of the words right now. But anyways, go ahead.
No, obviously it was still a great run for a good second place run for you tonight. I know, obviously, being gutted is totally okay in this situation, but at the same time, obviously a great points night for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Great points night for me. Great points night for our team. I should say Stephen Miles' team for Laser Racing. Yeah, I mean, it's just overall it was a fun race. For me, it took a little bit for the car to get settled in. Really didn't feel like I had short run speed. That's in the back of my mind. I was thinking, you know, with these 2 tires, it takes me a little bit just to get, you know, 4 tires to get them where I want them to be. Definitely feel like I had good long run speed. Later on that second big run we had there, but I mean, overall I can't be too upset. I finished second. I did have a little PTSD back to Dover. With that finish, I thought I was going to be able to do it again. I didn't really send it into 3 and 4 like I wanted to, because at the same time I didn't want to come off of 4 with the wheel crank and, you know, come down and wreck, you know, me, Fontaine, and Strayer there. You know, just try to be respectful about it, but also, you know, run it on the ragged edge, so to speak. But I mean, overall, great points day for Laser Racing, and I'll take second in this league any day of the week.
Obviously, great job tonight. Send some. Let's see. I don't remember if I asked you for shout-outs. I'm being distracted right now. But great job tonight. And if you haven't done some shout-outs, go ahead and do some more.
I'd like to thank my wife and kids, especially my wife, letting me take time out of our busy lives to do this. I gotta especially thank my kids. They're always rooting for me and wanting Daddy to win. Sometimes Daddy just isn't good enough, or doesn't practice enough, or just doesn't put the time in like Daddy should. But to me, family comes first. You know, Laser Racing is a family to me too. I gotta thank them. I gotta thank Steve Miles, Brandon Alfin, Devin Ramsey, Chris Dean. I gotta thank you for putting on these broadcasts. They're always fun to go back and watch and stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning, and get up an hour or 2 later and go to work. And then that's all I got, man.
Well, great job tonight, and congratulations on your second place finish.
Thank you.
And now to Victory Lane, where Sam Fontaine has pulled off another one. Needless to say, in a pretty wild finish here tonight. As let's get him up here and talk to the driver of the 77 as he gets his second straight win here this season. Obviously, Sam, great effort tonight, and obviously a very wild sequence of events there to get yourself up there to the front of the field. And then obviously let's talk those last couple laps and how you were able to make the move and get that car to stick.
I don't know, man. A little bit of luck, and at the end, obviously, like the difference in between 2 and 4 tires was just good enough to get it by a couple of inches.
Yeah, obviously a very close finish there at the end, but I mean, I don't know what else to say. Obviously, you ran pretty much top 5 the whole entire race, and then that run towards the end, it was like the 60 kind of cooked his right front a little bit, and you were able to pounce, and then you got that caution late in the race. I can only imagine the feeling at that point.
Yeah, I mean, Bristol is the kind of short track that I don't appreciate as much as the other, where like it doesn't match much my driving style for speed. So I slowly have to make my way forward and like drive smooth and smart and like slowly move forward. So like later on in the run, I can actually make something up when people maybe do mistakes or wear the tires out. And first half it was pretty decent. The track was in a certain state where everyone still had a car pretty balanced, but in the second big run, like that's where like the guys who went forward like really quick, like 60 and 44. I think they cooked a little bit too much their tires for that run, and like the track rubbered up and got a little more tight, and that's where like we saw Miles coming back also, where like in the first half he didn't really after dropping on purpose to take his time. So I just think took my time a little bit more with my tires, and it paid off at the end. But yeah, that last restart was really wild. I pretty much took a risk on going in the inside line when I cut in front of Strayer, where the gap was not, or kind of was, and it paid off. And we had a pretty cool and clean race at the end. That was really fun.
Yeah, obviously a great effort to go to victory lane. And the million-dollar question here is obviously to go back and back in the state of Tennessee's got to be a pretty good feeling.
Oh yeah, oh that's pretty cool. Always fun to get a win, and I mean we saw those guys up front like started P9. It's not because I was like I messed my lap up. It's just like I didn't have the speed, and those guys were really fast all night, and I kind of got a little bit lucky. Maybe played a little better with my tires, and yeah, it's really fun to get back and win the race when like you maybe thought it was not possible. So.
Well, great job tonight. Congratulations, man. Send some shouts if you like to.
I want to thanks like everyone in the team who showed up tonight. Tough deal for Sutphin. We had like connection issue, but still like everyone did a good job. Bring like a decent result. Good for the team points. Good for the everyone's points, and also obviously you for your broadcast. And we also have a big thought for people in the southeast of the U.S. where like the hurricane hit pretty bad, and obviously big thanks to Mr. Radiator and Joey for sponsoring the league.
Well, great. Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations. Obviously, second straight win, and on your way to defending that championship.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Absolutely. Sam Fontaine, the winner here tonight at Bristol. And what was a typical Bristol event, basically, when it's all over with here this evening. And it was a lot of fun to be a part of. And that's the thing you kind of mentioned there at the end. We get to have the fun while others, unfortunately, are victims of Hurricane Helene. And, again, you got more chances here to right up there in the pin area. You can go up there and donate to the American Red Cross, or you can, the race information button down there at the bottom, you can also do it there. So, a couple places for you. But tomorrow night we'll be back at it again, and we will do another league broadcast. We'll have more chances for you to donate, and then obviously Friday and Saturday night we're going to broadcast some hosted racing and trying to do what we can to help raise money for those in Carolina, Tennessee, parts of Virginia, Georgia, Florida, all affected by Hurricane Helene in what happened last week. So obviously our thoughts and prayers with those people there. And want to send a shout out to Mr. Radiator, of course, for sponsoring the Premier Series. Next week it is Eldora. The Xfinity cars, they go on vacation for a week. We bring the trucks back out and go racing at Eldora the way it used to be. The old truck series on Wednesday night should be a lot of fun there. And we look forward to going racing at 8:45 Eastern Time. We'll go live from Eldora with some heat races in the main event coming up at the end of the night. So make sure you come join us for that. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow night for some more league racing. I don't remember where we are. I'm trying to think here. Let me go peek at the Discord page real quick. I should know this by now, but sometimes I forget things. Watkins Glen. We could do some road racing coming up here tomorrow night. So there we go. Looking forward to that. Remember to enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Stay safe and take care of your loved ones. And remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain eSports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.